Hi, Leo. Today we're going to talk about 3 things that you have the opportunity to change now. So I find this to be a very interesting topic, and I hope you do too. So I've taken out 3 columns. The first one is nothing will come of the situation. Look at the bigger picture. So what I'm feeling from this is that there is an issue potentially where you feel like it's not going to work. Maybe a lot of problems have been coming up, or you try and, something causes it to, stall out, something like that. But it's saying here you need to look at the bigger picture, and that will provide a lot of answers for you. Stand back and try to get more like a bird's eye view of this. And if you can remove your emotions just for a short time to get a more neutral point of view, it's more than likely it's going to create a change in how you see this. And by creating that change, it's going to allow you to move forward into what you want. But you need to look at the bigger picture to create the change. So yeah, something going on in your life where, I don't know, what keeps coming to me is stalled out or self-doubt. And these wanted to come out in pairs, just FYI. There's supposed to be one, but they want 2 for you. Here you have temperance. This is having patience, which is a challenging thing to do sometimes, and balance and harmony, okay? So when it comes to this, it's saying, bring in the balance and harmony. Take a look and see what is not balanced. Because if you're in the flow state, things are going to flow so much smoother. And if you're out of balance, you are not in the flow state, all right? So work on getting yourself into balance and in harmony, and have patience while you're doing that. And then here it says, take action. Go ahead and take quick action, because this, the Knight of Swords, is going for their goal, and what it is for them is truth. It could be communication, something to do with language, but it's definitely quick action going for their goal that has to do with your truth. Now, the one thing to say, cautionary tale, the Knight of Swords is the fastest knight in the deck, and they go really fast, and they can overlook things. And don't go so fast that you overlook something, because it could mean that you have to retrace your steps, go back and fix or work on whatever you overlooked. And what's coming to me is having to take so many steps back, fix that one thing or address that one thing, and then start again from that point. And, you don't really want to have to do that. So, your first opportunity is whatever is going on in your life, and this might only apply to some, but whatever is going on in your life that you feel like it's stalled out or it's not going to go anywhere and you've been working on it, you need to go ahead and zoom out and look at the bigger picture and have patience with yourself and see what it takes to bring in the harmony and balance. And then once you bring that in, or are in the process of bringing that in and understanding the situation, take that movement forward, okay? Now let's go ahead and get a clarifying card for that. See what we find out here. And this is for whatever is going on where you feel like the situation just doesn't have an answer, but it certainly does. You just need to bring in the balance, have the patience, and see the bigger picture. And when you do that, take action. So this is kind of like the step-by-step on how to change this situation into a really nice opportunity. Queen of Swords. So here you have the Knight, here you have the Queen. And both of those are all about the truth, okay? So she doesn't tend to mince words, right? She's pretty frank. So whatever's going on here, your truth is very important. And at the bottom of the deck from taking that, you have the Ten of Wands. So this is meaning that you are going to be dropping some burden, all right, in order to go forward with what you want. So that could mean potentially that whatever has been going on, nothing's going to happen with this situation. Maybe something within that has been a burden to you. Maybe not the whole thing. Could be. It might be that you're dropping something so you can go forward in harmony and balance and in your truth. But it looks like it's at least some part of this is a burden that you're going to drop. Here, second column, never-ending story and imagine. This never-ending story is, you know, like feeling alone. It's almost to me relating back to this, nothing will come of the situation, where you're feeling alone, like there's no right place for you, or you can't find the right place. And I do feel like it's possible that there's a connection between these two. There could be a connection between all three of these, or they could be totally separate opportunities. But here, challenging energy, and 7 and 3 make a 10. So this is ending, okay? Where you're feeling alone, left out. And also it's coming to me is there is the perfect place for you. Just right. You just need to get out of this energy so you can find it. And here you have imagine. And you can see in the background this person is reaching up to the heavens. Right? So take the time to imagine what it is that you are wanting in order to remove yourself from this challenge. And supporting this down here, you have the Nine of Cups and the Ace of Swords. So, by taking a look at this and using your imagination, you know, going within and thinking about what it is that you truly want and need or feel you need to remove yourself from this isolating energy. It's going to bring in this new beginning. And this is your truth, where you're beginning to see clearly. And I do totally think it relates to this. You know, these can all be three separate situations, but the information for these situations, like this could definitely be over here as well. Look at the bigger picture. And I think that's what, yeah, I think that is part of this. Okay? Also, nothing will come of this situation. Look at that. Looks like nothing is going to come of that situation. So they could be just helping each other. But yeah, have this new beginning where you are beginning to see clearly and getting out of this challenging energy. And it is going to bring you much happiness. Okay? It's quite lovely. Okay, let's get another card for that. Justice. Okay. Both columns have an energy about bringing in balance, and they are both major arcana. So I would say definitely there's something that is not balanced here, Leo. And you need to zoom out, use your imagination. In other words, go within and think about what will bring in the balance, okay? Because whenever you're in a flow state, things go much smoother because everything is balanced. Your heart and head are both working together to bring about the best case scenario. Now let's take a look at these. You have ideation and mystery. I almost always, not always, but almost always take a clarifying card for mystery, and I'll probably do it again now, okay? Ideation is talking about there's something that you want to bring into your life, something you want to focus on. You have this wonderful idea. You need to spend time on this idea. Allow yourself that. Yes, sometimes it can be hard to find the time to do this, but this is saying this idea is going to be totally worth it. You're taking the time to spend with it. And right now, it is a mystery. So let's go ahead and get one of these, a clarifying card from mystery. I actually love that card. Because it just, you've got to almost always, not always, but almost always have to take clarifying cards for that. I think that's the second time this has come out. Maybe the mystery is, how do you drop the burdens to bring in this opportunity of going for what you love and getting out of the challenging energies that are bothering you. It could be like this repeating cycle. It's looping where there's challenges every day. And at the bottom of the deck from taking that, you have the Queen of Pentacles. She, again, for me, means balance. Her head and her heart, like I was talking about a moment ago, are integrated. So her head side, the logical side, finances are just the way she wants them to be. The love side, it's beautiful, filled with love. And she balances them to bring out the best in both. All right? So all three columns, you have a card of balance. So for this reading as a whole, balance is important here. But yeah, this mystery is talking about letting go of where your focus has been that's been keeping you in a never-ending story, in this challenging loop, and allowing yourself to start the process of going for what it is that you love and dropping the burdens. This is a huge burden. So drop it and allow yourself to go for what you love. That's the mystery. Okay? And right here, this going for what you love is the ideation. Maybe the mystery is having a hard time trying to figure out why you're in this challenging energy. Oh, sorry, a car's going by. Okay. Why you're in this challenging energy of nothing will come from this in the never-ending story. That could be the mystery. And it looks like it's because you're not allowing yourself to take the time to develop what you're imagining, what you're wanting, this idea that you have. Okay, and the cards that came out with this, Seven of Swords. This can mean several things. One, you need to have a strategy in order to go forward. Figure out how you're going to do it and kind of stick with it. And another could be that somebody is doing something that is not in your best interest. They could be deceitful or, doing something wrong. And it could be either or both. But I do tend to think with these cards out here, it is probably you needing to come up with some sort of a strategy. Look at this, right? you're kind of stuck in this loop, this never-ending story of where what I'm feeling is you're not going to be able to do it. Drop it and go for what you want. Give yourself the time to develop this idea or whatever it is that you have, which would lead you to this. The Page of Wands is wanting to go for something that they truly desire. So there's something that you really want in your life, and you cannot wait to get it started. And right here it's saying, start it. Let go of what's holding you back to go for what it is you want. Okay, let's get a clarifying card to go with that. Oh my goodness. Okay. The biggest message I feel for you here is balance, because you now have 4 cards of balance. Make that 5, because at the bottom of the deck you have Temperance again. Okay, so balance is huge in this reading. So here, your first column, feeling like what it is you're wanting, you're not going to be able to get. But this is like the formula. It's saying take a look at the bigger picture, bring in the balance and the harmony, be in your truth, and you will be able to go forward to what it is you want. Your second column, very, very similar. Feeling like you don't fit in, feeling like what it is you're wanting is not coming to pass. It's saying use your imagination, open up to the spiritual, to your intuition, to whatever it is that has that artistic creativity. Open up to that, because that is where you're going to find the answer. And you have the Ace, Swords, which is this clear thinking, this understanding. And again, balance, and then happiness. Over here, the mystery is getting out of this challenging loop by dropping the burdens, because there's something that you truly want to do. Great idea that you have. And create the plan. And it's also possible that somebody could be doing something that's kind of iffy when it comes to you. But I do feel like it's more of a strategy, because right here, this column is just all about the strategy on how to go forward. And that will take care of this mystery. So each one of these can be different, but they all totally seem linked to me. Balance is just throughout here. And then these 2 cards at the bottom are both balance. Now they're beautiful, because this is prosperity and love, harmony. So what I feel from that is the end result by you creating this change, or these changes, is going to be wonderful. Let's see. So, being in your truth, changing the situation from never going to happen to it's definitely going to happen, and solving the mystery. So that makes me feel like you've been aware of this, but not knowing how to change it, or not potentially knowing the finer points. So you have many answers here. Okay, let's take a look at the tea leaves that came out. Work, achievement, success. The end. Which, yeah, totally. I think this is going to take work. But by putting in the work, you're bringing in the success and the achievement. Here, Wheel. Indecisiveness, allowing your life to ramble aimlessly. To me, that would be here. Yeah, and here. because it's a wheel, just kind of like repeating, right? And not getting you where you need to be. Indecisiveness. So you do need to see and know what it is you want and bring in the balance. Ink pot. Problems to be resolved. Yes. The mystery. And you have kangaroo. Unsettled times, need to plan ahead. So that is making me feel like the Seven of Swords definitely is a strategy. Yeah, you need to bring in the strategy, and that would include balance. And here, the last one that popped up is the Sun, happiness and well-being. And in the tarot, this is the very best card in the deck. So this is saying, you know, you address these, and whatever the situations are going to turn out to be the very best that they can be. Let's go ahead and get a turn. See what we find out. Okay, you have a cup like on a teacher's desk with scissors, pencils, this and that, dilly-doos, whatchamacallits, compasses, things like that. So it's like the multi-tool, right? And I feel like this is almost the magician saying, you got everything you need. You just have to get in your cup and take out the tool you need at the time and use it. So you've got everything you need to create this change. Thank you so much. I hope this helps. Much love. Bye.